And we talk about narcissism. Is someone doing this for the publicity, for the attention, or are they doing it because they believe they're doing what's right? And at the end of the day, they don't really care what happens to them because, I mean, obviously, you think you're probably going to get caught. At least I think most people would think that.
Yeah.
That it's not going to end well for you. And if it's not going to end well for you, why would you go down that road? Why would you want that for yourself? Even though you know that's what holds, I think, a lot of people back from doing horrible things is the fact that it's not worth it. It's going to destroy my life.
Yeah.
Um, but at the same point, a lot of people are looking at this guy and seeing what he did and kind of going, "Oh, I get it."
Yeah.
In a really weird, dark way. But if anyone looks at it, I'm not saying any of this is right, but you can kind of go, well, I think we all have known somebody who was screwed over
Yeah.
by the healthcare industry or have had themselves screwed over by the healthcare industry and have gone through the hell or have seen people die because they didn't get the care they needed or they were denied or this or that. And that's in the thousands of people. This
Yeah.
is
It
one
is.
guy who was killed, the CEO.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of society is asking the question, why should we have any sympathy or empathy for this guy when he's the head of a corporation that actively kills people every single day
Yeah.
by denying coverage? At the same point, you can argue they save people every day too, because
Yeah.
they're providing the means when they approve what is needed. You can kind of go back and forth on it. They're not all, I mean, there'd be people that would die if this didn't exist and people couldn't afford their care. That goes to another larger argument of healthcare coverage. But that's what people are thinking. That's why people are kind of like, oh, damn, he got caught. Speak to that a little bit and the mindset that you have literally a good chunk of the country feeling that way and not a lot of empathy if this was, a school shooting or just some other random
Yeah.
shooting.
Yeah, 100%. It is tapped into the rage across the culture about the healthcare mess that we have in this country, and so many people not insured at all. And it's just sort of been this laser focus, for that
Mhm.
anger, which I can understand. I've been angry at health insurance and the lack of, and had to do all kinds of extreme things to get coverage.
Yeah.
But it's an interesting target because really we have to look at politicians for the reason that we have the mess and
Yes.
that we have these middle people like UnitedHealthcare who are profiteering. Are we going to start assassinating all the politicians who vote no on universal health care? Nobody's talking about that. But
No.
how do we make a decision on, oh, well, killing people to make a statement is okay. How do you decide? Who's the committee that decides who the appropriate targets are? And if we look at what causes harm in society, what causes millions of deaths a year, alcohol,
Mhm.
right? Alcoholism kills so many people. Are we going to go after the CEOs of companies that produce and market alcohol?
Sure.
Who gets to decide that? Ted Kaczynski went after people who were involved with technology because he thought technology was ruining the country. Well, he made a decision, so it's definitely a gray area if we go down the path of validating this. And one of my big concerns is copycatting
Yeah.
because humans are social creatures and psych books have been written about social contagion and copycatting. And if everybody as they are online is validating this now and they've turned Luigi Mangione into a folk hero, other people are going to step up and take up the mantle and decide they want to be famous too. And I do think the wanting the attention is a part of it, but there's also this other immersion in ideology. And then if he did have his own personal history with UnitedHealthcare, the personal rage about that. So it's really multiple factors that all come
Mhm.
together that produce this. But I'm really worried about social contagion catching on here with this.
That's what I'm wondering about this one. Is this just the beginning of an avalanche of this sort of thing happening where you have vigilantes going out and taking out the evil corporate, people or whoever they view as the enemy? Insert that here. Um, because I mean, I feel like society's kind of at a breaking point right now in terms of their tolerance for BS and
Yeah.
their ability to pull it in too and absorb it and go, oh, this sounds like a great idea. We seem to have both extremes that are very much active right now.
Yes.
Um, I mean, and we've seen other societies where this sort of things happen, where things get kind of so bad and people take matters into their own hands because the systems that we have in place that are designed to prevent healthcare companies from going rogue like they have and basically We heard the word death panels years ago, and that was going to be government. No, it's called an insurance company. It exists. It always has. It's exactly what that is. Where people literally are finally just sick of it, and they're going to say, "Screw it! If our government can't fix this, if the right systems can't fix this, maybe some people high level dying will get attention." I mean, that's not a thing. It's a good thing. I'm not saying encouraging that, but
Yeah.
it is concerning that, yeah, this is going to catch on, and that type of thinking is going to continue. But I don't know how you really stop that avalanche of
Yeah.
things unless the actual systems themselves that people are having such issues with that they're willing to kill over are corrected. I don't think we can just sit here and go, "Oh, it's the gun or it's the mind of the person, it's this or that." There's a reason people are being pushed this far.
Yeah. Yeah, and I really think what you're hitting on is the breakdown in our political system, which we're
Yeah.
seeing, everywhere. We're just seeing the system that's supposed to work, and the Supreme Court is, basically they're taking bribes,
Yeah.
certain justices, and our system is broken all across the board.
Yeah.
And ultimately, when it comes to healthcare, the politicians are the ones who are accountable
Mhm.
for what is not working here, because certainly other countries make it work, or they at least make it work better than it does here.
Yeah.
And those are the folks that we need to hold accountable, because corporations are out to make a profit, and
Mhm.
that's all of them. And it's up to the government to function well enough to rein them in and see that the people of the country are served. And our government is a mess right now.
Yeah. Certainly a very interesting case. So many aspects to this as to how it got to where it is, and why society is feeling the way they are about this one. Because it does feel very different than any of the ones that we've covered anytime. Um, Very fascinating. Sure, we got more to talk about on this. Hey, thanks for checking out the video. Be sure to follow us wherever you download podcasts, and especially Apple Podcasts, where you can get advanced episode and premium content on our premium channel right there. Also, be sure to follow us on social media so you don't miss any breaking updates on the stories that matter to you most. We're on TikTok, X, Instagram, Facebook. Just search Hidden Killers Podcast with Tony Brueski, and you'll find us right there. Again, thanks for watching.